let me ask you a question. You ever won that one? All right, we know that was a... Have you ever even competed for one of these?
Well, welcome back, people. Welcome back to the channel. Big up to every single one of you that's locked in. Apologies for the lateness, but also welcome to the channel. You already know what it is. Lateness is greatness. Word to Matisse. Day 70 of the 1,461-day reign as your world champions. You man thought the belt was going to disappear. The belt is not disappearing. Apologies for the lateness. It is what it is. If you know, you know. If you don't, it is what it is. But I am not getting into it because, like, look, the chat is enough of a hint. But, yo, big up everybody. It is time for a fucking therapy session because I can't lie. I feel like a lot of us need it. 3 games without a win in the last 7 days. It has been a bit of a horrible week, all things considered. But we're here to delve into everything regarding the Manchester United game. We're going to end up talking about Sanchez. We're going to talk about Maresca. We're going to talk about all things regarding the game, so you already know what it is. Big up to chat. Big up to every single one of you that's locked in. As always, you already know what to do. Smash the likes and sub to the panel. The link is down in the description below. Sub to Casually. Sub to Jimmy Spliff TV. I'm going to put Guni's Twitter in the description as well, so everybody sub to Man Knows Football too. But big up everybody. Let's get into it. Alex isn't going to make it onto the show, unfortunately, but it is what it is. And yeah, let's get into it. Jimmy, what are you saying, my guy? I hope everything's good. I hope you've had a good weekend past the football, of course.
Yeah, I'm good. I'm over here chilling. I'm alive, you know. It's a great day to be alive. Great day to be alive, you know. Breathing, the air. I can breathe. I'm alive. I'm alive.
Yeah, it's great to be alive.
I'm alive. Unlike some people.
Oh, brother. But yeah, here we are, man. Here we are, people. Andrew, always great to have you back on the channel, brother. I hope everything's well past the football, of course. Oh, I think you're on mute. Sorry, I got that for the timer. My bad.
Sorry, so I'm here. I'm here just to tolerate Jimmy. Do you know what I mean? I'm here and tolerate everyone else. That's all. You know what I mean? But I'm all good apart from the football. But there we go. We'll discuss that. I don't want any more therapy sessions after this, please. So it's all good.
I would hope not to, because if there is any with the 2 fixtures that we have coming up next week, then there's some serious problems. But that's a problem for next week. Guni, my dog. I hope everything's well, bro. Big up to you, man. It's great to have you back on the channel. Hope you're good. Oh, you're on mute, brother, too.
On mute.
Yeah, I'm all good. I'm all good. But can we talk about football? Card the comments are turning mad in there.
Look, guys, chat. We're here for Chelsea therapy, not political therapy.
Yeah, what is wrong with y'all? Y'all alive. Be happy to be alive, and we talking football. What's wrong with y'all?
Yeah, man. Let's keep it to football. Relax. We don't care about nothing else. I promise you. Let's leave it at the football.
Let's all, everyone here on the panel, everyone in the chat, let's just keep that football. You know what I mean? Let's talk football. Especially after yesterday, bro. Right? My head is still on flipping Mars. Like you messaged me earlier, Lewis.
Bro, I woke up just angry. Like, I don't know if you guys have ever had that thing where you just woke up and you get an instant drop of just anger as soon as you remember everything that's happened the last 24 hours. But that's where I was at. Just woke up fuming because it's just another bad performance at Old Trafford. More points dropped there. And I feel like, again, it just comes down to ourselves. Manchester United didn't to an amazing point, but they basically took advantage of us basically ruining the game for ourselves within 20 minutes. But where do we start? Because there's 2 main topics coming out of this. Robert Sanchez and Enzo Maresca. Both of them are the main topics of conversation coming out of this game. I feel like it's better to just start with what the first problem was, which was Robert Sanchez. And I know people are going to talk about Chalobah as well. Like, Chalobah lost a duel with Benjamin Sesko. But personally, I know Chalobah's not great in the air. And I also know that Benjamin Sesko is great in the air. He's 6'5". He's got a mad leap on him. We all know that with him. I'm genuinely not shocked that he lost that duel. I look at that one moment and I'm sorry, I'm looking straight at Robert Sanchez, because not only did you go studs up to the knee, you were indecisive before. Like, we've just come off this Arsenal-Man City game, and for all the good that Donnarumma did in that game, I'm looking at him for the same thing for that equalizer, which is you went out, then decisive, you got caught in no man's land. Robert Sanchez, you got caught in no man's land, and just like that, we are down to 10 men. But Guni, I'll start off with you. Because they're both like the main topics of conversation, where do you put the majority of the blame on out of the two of them? Because it's just been both of them taking the majority of the stick so far.
Well, for me, it's going to have to be Sanchez. I'll tell you why. Because it's like you said, you see, when you make a decision, especially as a goalkeeper, there's no half step in it. There's no having to think twice. Once you commit, you commit. That's it. And when you do commit, especially in a situation like that, knowing that's the last man as well, you have to get the ball. I don't care how you do it. If you make that decision, it's because you know you're going to get that ball and you're not going to give away a foul there and consequently get sent off. But am I surprised? No, because we've seen this before. How many times do we need to see something like this again and again and again from this goalkeeper to not be surprised? Because it's me that would be stupid if I was surprised. That's what I said. You see, when it happened, immediately in my head, I just said, yeah, of course. Look who it is. Look who it is. Look who it is. Yes, the defense, a little questionable as well. They're going to have to hold maybe a 5-10% of that blame, but the majority of that is on Rob Sanchez. And even still, at that point in the game, 5 minutes in, or however minutes it is in, yeah, if he's going to go through and score, then so be it. There's still 80 minutes left that we can still play. And quite frankly, we've got a better chance with 11 men that were on the pitch at that moment. Let's not even talk about the subs, because I know you're going to come on to that. I don't want to skip that. But for me, Sanchez definitely has to look at himself, because there's no excuse to do that 5 minutes into the game. If that's the Champions League final, semi-final, 88 minutes, we're 2-1 down, or 2-2, we're 2-1 down or whatever, and we need to, or we're 2-1 up, sorry, and we need to either hemorrhage or keep the flipping, or keep the score the way it is, fine. Go ahead and do that. But you're 5 flipping minutes in, bro, in a Premier League game where we need 3 points as well. Ridiculous.
I agree. Maresca did say it perfectly in the press conference. Even though there was still a lot of things I questioned in terms of the way we managed the game after that. I do agree, and like, this is again another problem with Robert Sanchez, because like, I'm with him. I would rather go 1-0 down. 1-0 down against Manchester United, 11v11. I believe we're scoring more than 2 goals.
Exactly.
So what's the point of making a challenge like that everyone doing watch-alongs, everyone watching the game at that point said, that might be a red. That might be him off. That's last man. His legs are high up as fuck. The studs were out. It's a red. And like, a lot of us already know the situation with the goalkeepers. There's a few that are trying to delude themselves and say, yeah, like Robert Sanchez is good enough for another season, everything. It is 3 seasons. 3 seasons of Robert Sanchez in goal. You have seen him in goal for us for a full season last year. At least the first year, it was half the year, and then Petrovic took over. You got a whole year with him, and we only just made top 4 with him having the most errors leading to a shot, most errors leading to a goal. What made people think that it changed? What? Because we had a nice little run in. And part of that is because we dropped our line further back to accommodate for him, because he struggles playing the ball out of the back. Now we've had games where he has less touches of the ball and he plays the ball out of the back less. We want to pretend that he is the perfect goalkeeper for us for a title race. The whole thing should be simple. If you're good enough to win us a league, back it. If you're not good enough for us to win a league, don't back it. To the Maresca outers, if you don't think he's good enough to win us a league title, agree or disagree, at least I would understand the stance from that. If there is genuinely people in this world who think Robert Sanchez is good enough to be a goalkeeper for us and win us a league title, I don't know what you're smoking. I don't know what you're smoking. Now I could hear the conversation for like maybe a cup run because we have done a cup run with Sanchez. Fair enough. But for a league campaign for 38 games in a season, I'm not listening to it. I'm not hearing it. Guy, I don't know if Andrew, Jimmy, do you guys want to add anything on the Robert Sanchez situation or? You're on mute, Jimmy. Andrew, you go first. Jimmy will go to you afterwards. Go on, Andrew.
Hello, Rob Sanchez. We did say, he's only just, all this like, well, maybe he's changed from because he had one decent performance in a Club World Cup. This is always going to happen, He couldn't help himself, Had a goodish performance against Bayern Munich and then had to remind people who he really is, And he's just lucky they changed the rules because he's only going to really set out the Lincoln game, which he probably wouldn't have played anyway. So he's going to be back for Brighton. But this is the whole point.
That's only for the cup.
This leads. Don't want to get in a big rant, but this leads to the whole thing. It's the same people that say Robert Sanchez is fine are the same people that are all in on, that's all right, we can wait till next year because Mike flipping Penders will be around. It's like, I don't know who Mike Penders is. I don't know if he's good enough. Do you know what I mean? It's the same type. It's the same people. It's just accepting. It's okay because we've got this player. We got with the defense. It's okay because we'll bring back Sarah and Anselminho, or we can just slot Achimpong in. It's just the acceptance of it, which is kind of sickening, It's the same people that say this have disrespected the goalkeeping position since for the last 3 years since Mendy was out. Do you know what I mean? It's all right. We can go one extra year without this and that.
It's like, how many years are we going to keep going with that mindset?
Well, they don't change. These people don't change. It'll be, there'll be some people that won't even blame Sanchez for his red card yesterday. They'll say, oh, it was, like you say, Chalobah not heading the ball, or it was Caicedo not matching the run of Mbeumo and shit like that. So it'll be something like that. But, it's to be expected. That's why I'm like, to me, it's when Sanchez, the bar's so low for Sanchez that when he does actually do something great, I'm not going to overreact on it. And when he does some a bozo moment that he is, it's just, it's Robert Sanchez. What did you expect?
Yeah. I knew it'd just be a matter of time. I didn't want to do the whole negative thing because, especially with the way that we ended the season, winning 2 trophies and everything, I wanted to approach the season with a more optimistic mindset. And in terms of the season, I still have a bit of an optimistic mindset with it, but it's everything that we knew that we needed, and it's come back to haunt us in near record time. Like, me and Jimmy, we both had the same ideas. We were both saying 4 out of 10 window. You gave the sporting directors a 6-year extension. 1 out of the 3 things that we all said that we needed to improve on, we got. And Fairs, you sorted out the striker. Fair enough. Fair enough, the depth's improved in the midfield. Up top, Delap injuries, unfortunate, we move. But you've sorted out the depth up top. The left back depth sorted. The full back depth in general sorted. But the 2 areas that we knew we needed to strengthen, the sporting directors basically silenced Enzo Maresca on it. He came out and said, we need a centre-back. Then they sent him out next year with basically a gun behind his head and said, say internal solutions. Say we got internal solutions. Say Badia Shield can do the Colwell role. You got Hato. We will bring back Sarr in January, even though you didn't even wait a week or 2 after the World Cup to send him straight back to Strasbourg. Even though we all knew with the amount of minutes that we have played over the last year, it was going to be a struggle going through this season anyway. I feel like we're kind of seeing it to a point anyway, based off how slow we start in games, the fact that the energy seems to drop in parts in games, and the fact that we are still pulling up key injuries here and there. But, Jimmy, I feel like you just got a fuck ton of vindication early mail and everything. Talk to me, brother.
You're on mute, bro.
You're still on mute.
As a goal that they took back. What other shit he did? What game was after that?
West Ham.
Paqueta. And
then we went 1-0 down with Fulham after 21 minutes. I think that was more tossing, if anything.
You know, Paqueta's goal. That was the next one.
Yeah.
And then, this weekend.
Brentford, he was in the front post with 5 other people.
And listen, my thing about this, right? Here's what I'm gonna say. I will get upset at a keeper for letting in a goal, but there's only so much. Like that's every game somebody has to let in a goal. So it's not. I only could get so mad about regular things that's a part of the game. The dude gave away the game in 3 minutes. That to me, like I've played sports before, and I thought maybe it was just something I did because I wasn't professional. I literally had games where I was trying to get thrown out. I don't know why. I didn't want to play, and instead of saying to my coach, I just don't have it, I was literally out there doing shit that I knew would get me thrown out the game. And I swear to God, that's how I feel yesterday. Because he ran out. First of all, what I personally feel, I feel like he ducked the one-on-one. Because I don't know what goalkeeper in the rain, number one. So the odds is in your way, because the player running down full speed, his touch can go anywhere. His shot might not get the same lift. It's so many different things that can happen. So for him to even go for that, I thought was a bad idea. Then when he goes, he sees he's not going to get it. Why would you kick the player? People talk about, oh, but he got the ball. He wasn't trying to get the ball. I hate to tell y'all, he got the ball by luck. What he wanted to do is what he did. And the only thing I could think is he got caught in between two minds. He knew I needed to go, so he went. He didn't make it. But then when he got there, it's like he's still thinking, oh, I'm in the box. Because if he's in the box and he makes that tackle, it's just a pin. It's literally just a pin. But you outside the box, it's a straight red. Like, I'm not even gonna, like, you already, people think I need this big vindication to shit on Sanchez. I don't. Like, the people who backed him, they have to die on that hill. I'm gonna say, like I said it yesterday in the group, they gotta die on that hill. While they're on that hill dying, I will walk to the top with my popcorn and wait on the vultures and the buzzards and the maggots, and I'm going to watch them eat you while you're dead. I'm going to watch them finish your remains. If the Sanchez hill is what you want to die on, because of Sanchez, we lost that game. Y'all know, when it comes to wins and losses, I try to keep it as simple as possible. If it can be black and white, I'll keep it black and white. And I'm sorry, yesterday game, black and white came down to the goalkeepers, not just Sanchez. To the
Jorgensen, man.
Yes, yesterday game, the goalkeepers let down everybody.
I feel like I'm kind of like to a point where I can't be arsed with him either, because it's like a second season.
Oh no,
and you still don't know when to play him across.
No, he can't claim it. Yeah, don't put. And
again,
there's no excuse for him. This dude is 6'3". He's not a little guy.
And you were sitting here annoyed in the summer because you weren't getting like guaranteed opportunities yourself. You were doing this in the Conference League last season. I remember that Legia home game where you were barely catching crosses and you flapped at nearly everything. But then again, like this, we always end up circling back to recruitment, because as much as I think we've done pretty well in terms of sorting out certain areas of the squad, the midfield, the front line, the fullbacks, how have you managed to just ignore the other areas that were screaming out for getting strengthened with UCL money, with Club World Cup money, and winning money?
I can't tell the math of how long I've actually known you guys, but when I first met Winter Surfer, the first...
It's about 3 years now. No, 2 years. 2023.
No. COVID. I met...
you jumped on the first time was like March 2023.
No. I'm talking about New York, like knew of y'all. New York. After COVID. Yeah, I knew of y'all after COVID. But no.
Alexis, if you want to join, I'll send you the link.
One of the things he said that resonated with me, and I'm like, damn, I actually believe he said, because I've only loved one team in the Prem. It's Chelsea. He always said, I don't know. I've never known my club not to have good keepers. If you don't have a good keeper, you don't have a spot. It's not Chelsea. I don't recognize my club. I remember one panel show, I watched him say it. He said, without a goalkeeper, I don't recognize this club. And then he just went through the history of the keepers.
Every Prem title with one has been a world-class keeper.
Yeah. And so it's like, bro.
No successful team wins multiple trophies with a mediocre goalkeeper. It's never happened in the history of football. You can win an odd cup now and again.
Exactly.
But no sustainable. It just doesn't happen. It just doesn't happen. Is it, no matter what you think about him, is it any, PSG won their first Champions League with Donnarumma. Whatever you think of him, he's a good goalkeeper, but they just won it. Didn't win anything with him before, You don't win it. That's why I'm fuming at some of this fan base who go from like, oh, it's okay, we can go next year, or just accept these goalkeepers. It's like,
it's all of the final performance.
First of all, I want to know when you started supporting us, because that will tell me. And if it's anything before, if it's anything after 2018, and I know where you're coming, because you don't know what you're talking about. We won a goalkeeper. We've seen it. I always say, when I'm on Donna Sam's channel, he knows this. There was a couple of seasons ago where Liverpool were shit, right? They were shit. They had all the injuries. They only finished fifth for. Alisson kept saving them time and time again. How many times did Peter Cech save us? How many times when Mendy was in that glorious 18-month 18-month thing?
For that 18 months,
that one game against that one game against Brentford, he saved everything, including when it was smashed at his head.
Yeah.
We won 1-0 and he got man of the match. That's what I'm talking about. And people come along and go, people don't know. Oh, it's okay. It's okay. We've got, like I said, this isn't getting on Penders. It's okay. We've got Penders coming in. What? Why? What's it done for you to go? Oh, it's okay. We've got Penders coming in. What? Because he's had a couple of good games at Strasbourg. What are we doing here? Wake up. Wake up. You build the two most important positions on any pitch is the striker and the goalkeeper. The goalkeeper can make an ordinary centre-back, give him confidence twice of what the player he is. Twice of what the player he is. I saw Cech. Do you think if we had any other goalkeeper in away at the Nou Camp in 2012, apart from Cech, that a centre-back pairing of Basingwa and Ivanovic would and Ramirez at right back and Basingwa would get us through it?
Basingwa, man.
Yeah, are you mad? Do you think Gary Cahill and David Luiz, injured as they were going into the 2012 final, would actually get through without Cech? You're bonkers. You're bonkers. Exactly. You're just bonkers. Honestly, it's maddening.
And then we sit here and we fall for a run-in where, like, I don't even think he stood out bar 2 games where we had so much possession he didn't have to play out the back. And the World Cup final, one performance. I thought we learned from Kai Havertz. I thought we learned from that not to fall for a final performance. But here we are, we're doing the same damn thing yet again. Big up Alexis, no stress, man.
Then they'll go, oh, I remember after this whole thing, after the Club World Cup thing, where everyone's discussing, oh, maybe he deserves another chance. When's the last time he had a mistake? The semi-final he had a mistake because Cucurella had to clear it off the line. How about a couple of times in the final when he gave the ball away, which could have gone into a goal for them and changed it rapidly? This is the whole point. I don't want to mention my goal. I want my goalkeeper throughout the season to have an average rating of 5 to 6. Do you know why I want him to have an average rating of 5 to 6? He doesn't have to do shit.
Exactly.
He doesn't have to do shit apart from take goal kicks and claim crosses and stuff like that.
Yo, I'm gonna tell you. Lewis, you want to know the irony? You want to know the irony of this?
Yeah.
We do the podcast with Don. When he was going around asking about players to be funny, when he got to me, oh, Jimmy, what do you think about Sanchez in the Bayern Munich game? And it was so poetic. The very next game. And my thing is, what I said to him is, I said, yo, bro, I had nothing negative to say about Sanchez because he did nothing negative. But if we lose a game 3-1, what am I gonna say about a keeper? He did his job. I'm not gonna say nothing bad. I'm only gonna bring up the keeper when he do one or two things. More than likely save a pin that wins me the game, or he fucks up. Even if we up 1-0 and he make a great save at the end, I'm normally not even gonna wax poetic about that because usually I'm gonna be like, well, that's what the fuck he's supposed to do. That's just how I am.
That was the only moment. You're there for that.
Now, if you make a double save, like a bomb, then I'm gonna be like, yo, that was amazing. But just the save, I'll be like, okay, it's a save. You did your job. I have nothing negative to say, but letting in a goal is not enough for me to get mad at a keeper. Having a howler is where it starts. That's when I'll get mad. But for me to just be finito, how I am with Sanchez, is to do what he did. He compounded. It was all compounded into one. It was a bad idea, howler / dumb. Like, you took a red card.
And it's a repetitive mistake. Do you remember City away? Erling Haaland. Man came into no man's land and got lost again.
Yeah. And
remember Arsenal away? 5 minutes in, he gave the ball to Martinelli. Thank God it was Martinelli.
And here's the fucked up part. We were only 4 minutes in, bro. It's Man United. Let's be honest. If you really look at it, if he would have went out there and just did the boogeyman, what I call the boogeyman, it's just run out and go, and then move, and Buemo would have did the same thing. He would have knocked the ball wide because he would have had to try to get it around him. And then let God sort it out. It's wet out there. Guys are still chasing them. If they score, it's 1-0, bro. It's Man United. It's 1-0. Relax. So yeah, I give 99.9% of this loss to Sanchez and the other 0.1% to Jorgensen. I swear to God.
So wait, this is where I wanted to lead to, because I did see a few of your tweets. I did want to discuss this as well, because Enzo Maresca's come in for a lot of criticism based on the way he reacted to the red card. And I get you get thrown into that situation, but he did seem like he just completely panicked and then just kept making wrong decision after wrong decision.
I disagree. I disagree with that. I totally disagree. And I see most people say that. I'm on a whole other side of that. And I think, me personally, I think because that's the way you felt about it in the moment, that's how you stuck with it. Even though what you was watching was not telling you it was bad subs. I don't care what you tell me. What you was watching, you couldn't tell me it was bad subs. You can't.
So how did you see? Because I don't think both wingers should have come off. At least one.
No, I can hear all of that. I understand all that. So basically, the argument, because as much as people making it about this big deal, people basically are arguing over one player. When you do the math, it's one player they're arguing about, not two. They'll argue. It's a difference of opinion.
Because one of them could have come off. I don't mind, but it was just Esteban off, and then what was it? Then Neto, and then also hearing after the game that Cole Palmer wasn't at 100%, and then I'm thinking, should he have just come on in the second half? Then should we have not risked him going into a Wednesday, Saturday? Because that just seemed like a bit too much of a risk that I even expect from Maresca. Maresca seems to be always like fitness first. If you're not ready, I probably won't risk you. And I'm thinking, why did you start Palmer then? And then also, when we go down to 10 men, how is it both wingers that are going off and then Palmer? Like, I might understand more if Palmer goes off and you're saying, no, 100%, I got fucked over. It is what it is.
It was Palmer himself that indicated he wanted to come off.
I was about to say, I think it's Palmer.
Maybe I missed that.
Who called this out? Because Palmer came off limping. When Palmer came off, he came off limping, holding his groin. I say, this is what I say, right? This is what I'll say. When he made his substitutes, right? The game switched again. Jorgensen letting in that second goal, the game switched again, completely switched again, on its head, switched again. But if you watch the game and watch what was happening, what we wanted to do, we were still able to do. It was just fine margins in the last pockets of play made us not be able to get shots on goal. We were able to get the ball out the box. Andre Santos, he was playing, not only was he playing in midfield, in the mid, once we went on attack, he was playing like a fucking 10. Like him and João Pedro were just linking up, getting the ball. And there was one little pass here, one little pass there, and was shutting down what could happen as far as the back and forth. But I had no problem with him with none of the subs. When I say literally none, let me tell you why I say I have no problem with none of the subs. Because in the moment, I don't know what he's trying to do. I really don't. Until I start seeing what's happening. And once it started happening, I could see what he was doing. I don't know about y'all, but if you go watch the game again, you can clearly see what he was doing. He was locking it back and looking to get one nicked on the counter. And none of those little ass wingers y'all was talking about was going to be able to do nothing with that back line they had. That's why he brought in Santos and had
You don't think they would be able to give Pedro a bit more support? Because I felt like he was isolated.
Because
But hold on. Well, what's the setup that y'all talking about? Because let's remember, our defense was looking like crap. So what winger y'all leaving in, and what is his job? That's what I want to know. What winger what player y'all leaving in, and what do you expect them to do? Like who would y'all want to leave on?
I feel like both Esteval and Neto would be able to give us good ball carrying from wide areas. I feel like Neto as well might be able to give us more defensive recovery on top of that. If anybody could have come off, I might be looking at Enzo just based off the amount of games he played and also the form that he's on.
Yeah. Let me not say that too early.
Guni, what are you feeling, bro? Just to get
I agree. And, let me hold off my full feelings on Enzo Fernandez till the 1st of January. Like I said, I'm going to wait till I make some serious statements about this team. But I do agree, Enzo should have come off. I felt like once you took off Neto, Esteval, and granted, Cole Palmer's not your fault because he indicated he wanted to come off because he was injured. You took away our attacking impetus for me completely. It just took it away, and then you're leaving João Pedro to do so much on his own. And the thing is although that was the case for him, he never gave up, man. He gave 100%, and I love to see that from a player. But nonetheless, I just feel like if we had Esteval and João Pedro on that pitch, I think we could have been a little bit more dynamic up top, especially when it came down to Manchester United dropping down to 10 men too. Because that's where, although obviously Maresca was not going to foresee that, it could have, if he was on the pitch, I'm convinced we could have got something out of it. But you never know until it happens. But that's just my opinion. That's my opinion on the situation. I think Enzo should have come off. Esteval should have definitely stayed on. We should have had João Pedro and Esteval as those main two attackers. That's what I think should happen.
Yeah, so Esteval was supposed to do Santos' role?
No. And the thing is look, what I'm saying
still comes on, in my opinion.
What I'm saying is not the be all and end all, because look, if you bring on Esteval, you lose something else. You bring on whoever it was that came on, we're gonna lose something else. So you're kind of, in that sense, you're in a lose-lose situation because you're gonna lose something. But for me, it just made more sense to have at least those two up top, because if we're looking for that counter-attacking football as well, we're looking to hit one over the top. Esteval's got the pace to do that, and João Pedro also has the pace to do that. It's better to have the two rather than the one, because at the time, a few times you saw João Pedro receive the ball, but then he's isolated up top. He's got nobody that's really near him. You know what I mean? So if Esteval was there with a little bit of pace that he has, maybe you can link up a little 1-2 there and get through on goal. Because remember, we only had how many shots on target? Was it like 1 shot on target or 2 shots on target the whole game?
If any. Something low.
Yeah, something like that. That, if any. But like I said, that's just my opinion, man.
Now, my thing's like, if you're going to, you're down to 10 men, you're on the back foot, I respect that. You're also just completely thrown off your game within 5 minutes. But you always got to have outlets. I've just felt like João Pedro was just left there on an island and he just couldn't do anything with the lack of support that he had, because the midfielders are just bombing up and down, doing everything they can. And even the likes of Enzo, he's fit, he can cover a lot of ground, but he just ain't really got the pace like that. And I also think Esteval's got the deceptively good strength for his size and for his age. I've seen this brother hold 2-3 players off and dribble with the ball at times. I think João Pedro just needed a partner with him in that. Taking both of the wingers off, I don't think that was the right move. I can respect it was a panic, but I also wanted a bit more composure.
So basically one sub.
Yeah, basically. But I feel like that could have been the difference in the game.
So the fact that they basically did nothing else in attack. They outside of the bullshit goals, they was never gonna score. They were never going
Yeah,
to
but
score.
I don't really have too many complaints about Maresca from a defensive side.
But a lot of his subs were defensive. So the same guys that played the role, I heard people complain that Gusto came on. Well, some of the attacks we got at the end was Gusto running back from being in the attack, making blindside tackles, reversing the play and going back the other way. Giddens, Garnacho, none of them are doing that.
I'm not fussed about like George coming on over either of them two. I genuinely couldn't care.
And my thing is this: I say that to say this, right? Like, guys were upset from the subs were made. People's mind was made. This is shit subs. This is horrible. He's blowing it. Cool. Then it was 2-1. Yeah, it was 2-1. Subs didn't look so shitty then. Then Reece James had that second cross. That probably should have been a fucking goal.
Someone needs to be in the middle, yeah.
So what would have happened? That would have been what? I'm sorry, what the score would have been? 2-2. But then that would have made the subs great. That's how I said I have no problem with the subs. It just didn't work. But this idea that, oh, we'd have left on Estevao, would have worked. Nah, I don't know about that. I just don't. Nah. I've seen teams drop down to 10 to 11 many a times. And what happened in the game was the game switched on his head 2 times in the game. Because what he probably couldn't plan for was Casemiro getting sent off. You're not going to think, oh, he's going to be dumb enough to get sent off. Or even he's going to be, well, I guess it was still first half. I guess you would have left him on. But who could predict that? Like, so much shit happened. Like, let's keep it funky. We should have had a pin.
Towards the end, yeah, the João Pedro one.
We should have had a pin. Like, so this idea that the subs blew the game, like, I just can't buy into that. I get it. People gonna look and be like, oh yeah.
But do you hear that it played its part?
Yo, listen. That what he did would have got us. As far as I'm concerned, if certain things go its way, I'm looking at it 2-2. So I don't look at those players that y'all talking about. They're not enough of game changers for me to put more faith in them over what he did. I just don't. Like, as much as I love Estevao, he ain't fucking scored a goal for us yet. Like, so, like, I'm not gonna.
No, I get it. It's just my thing is like I've seen a lot of teams go down to 10 men before, and they can still like have some sort of impact on the game, and still even end up leaving with 3 points. Like, I hear the penalty stuff, but we'll all sit here and be frustrated, even if we leave that with a draw. Even if it is a 2-0 comeback to 2-2, we're still going to leave that relatively annoyed.
And it also goes down to this, and I don't give a fuck what nobody say. Y'all can say what y'all want, but look at his center backs. If we look like shit with 11. Yeah, well, I don't blame him. I ain't blaming my manager for shit. Both goalkeepers.
That's fair enough. Andrew, just to get you into it, how do you feel about the whole substitutions and everything?
2 fucking goalkeepers make how.
I understand what Jimmy's saying. I just, for the life of me, I don't understand the narrow. For me, I don't understand the narrow one, just for an outlet. Because João Pedro is going to be the obvious one that's going to, even if you have 11 men, he's always going to drop deeper and stuff like that. I actually thought, for a huge chunk of that, I actually thought it was an act of cowardice because he was just trying to get after the red card, I think he was just trying to get the point then, because it was 0-0 when all those subs were being made. He brought an extra defender, get the point and get out of there. Do you know what I mean? I think he was trying to do that. For the life of me, I don't know what Tariq George does. You know that old saying, when someone brings on a player, you just go, what does he do? Because he doesn't really get past anyone on the wing, and when you try and put him up front, it's mad. We've now heard after 24 hours, it's like we get reports now about him not favouring certain players or trusting certain players. That's fine, but you've then got to win the games if you're not going to play them. Do you know what I mean? You've got to win the games or get good results. He stands a better chance of his case of us backing him about these players of when he does play them to find out whether they're good or not. Do you know what I mean? This whole place, like, the Cole Palmer one's probably the one that's effed him over, right? In terms of the injury, in terms of the whole subs, right? Because if a fit Cole Palmer plays, you accept the Netto one.
Yeah,
So
maybe you understand it. That's actually a very good point, to be fair.
One, but the net, so he's pretty it's pretty hard to really go against when Netto one, because the Netto one happened before the Palmer one. He wasn't probably expecting Palmer to go off. It's just, I don't know. For me, it was like okay, we're gonna try and get the point, but give yourself some chance. Do you know what I mean? Give yourself some chance. I thought bring on Santos fine, but have another outlet on there. Have someone who's going to try and stretch their defense. Do you know what I mean? Or try and get on the ball, or keep them occupied, or some of this. Because João Pedro was he does it when we have 11. He just likes to drop deep. Then we like to drop deep and collect the ball and stuff like that. But it's just, I really think it was just panic stations, and no one really reacted well, because he brought him in, and the defense. I mean, well, we can talk about the defense. I just the defense.
Yo, the ball watching in this back line.
Honestly, the centre backs is another thing with some of this fan base that go, "Oh, we didn't need to buy another centre back. We got enough. It's like, bro, it's like no matter what you think about him, whether you think he's the best or not, Levi Colwell's stocks just keep going up and up and up with these centre backs. People don't realise he's not the best centre back. He's not world class, but he was important to this defensive structure for Maresca. The way we play out from the back and the way he plays. I'm not saying he would have won every header, but these two guys at the back are beta centre backs. They don't know how to lead, and then people want to bring in. Oh, it's all right. Why are we bringing Josh Achimpong? So why would you bring in Josh Achimpong when he's got no one there to lead him? Josh Achimpong would have too. Josh Achimpong would have melted. Would have been swept away with like those other two. It's a bigger thing. Yesterday's game was more of a highlight of our overall issues that we have with this squad, and it's our Achilles heel. The centre backs and the goalkeeper will be our Achilles heel this season.
Well, our real Achilles heel is the ownership, mate, and the recruitment. That's what it is. If we're being completely honest, this is what happens when you fail to prepare. This is exactly what happens. Because look, as far as I'm concerned, look, I know, look, you can't change anything, but as far as I'm concerned, Sanchez should not be in goal for us this season. He shouldn't be in goal for us. Those two centre backs shouldn't have been starting this game today. We should have had better. It's just that for whatever reason, we decided to go for positions that were one or two, we could say priority, but the rest is like, why did you go for that? Why did you do that? For what reason did you do that? And then furthermore, people are complaining about, oh, it's the salaries of these players or that player or whatever. Look, I feel like I'm just explaining the basics because it's been so long since we've made such impact signings. But if you want quality, you have to pay the flipping money. There's no ways around this. We can't keep looking for diamonds in the rough and expecting us to be competing for Champions League or Premier League or whatever. We can't keep doing that. If you're going to mix the philosophies together in terms of we're going to try and look for some diamonds in the rough, but we need to buy proven, but hand out some money first, then yeah, that might work. But this structure that we are going with, is just a gamble. Complete gamble. You might get one or two where it's like, oh shit, that's actually a very good player. Cole Palmer, Esteval, or João Pedro, cool. But we need a squad that can compete. Remember, I'm not saying a first 11. I'm talking about a squad that can compete. And
especially the amount of minutes we played, facts.
And I hate to say this as I pride myself as the number one hater of this club. But those pricks in North London wearing red are starting to get it right in terms of their recruitment. And if we're not careful, we're going to get even further left behind. And remember, this is coming from me. If you guys follow me on Twitter, you lot know how much I detest that club. So it breaks my heart to say this. But this is the direction we might end up going if we're not careful. Something needs to be done here. Something needs to be done here. Because another thing is if you took away, let's say nobody knew where any team finished this summer, and we all did the business and we closed this transfer window, would you look at this window and say, this is a team that qualified for the Champions League, or this is the team that's competing for the Europa League? Which one
So I've
would
said
you
it all summer. It's the same window that we would have had if we finished 6th.
This is what I'm trying to say. So ultimately, look, as pissed off as I am at Maresca, right? I think he bottled it yesterday, big time. As pissed off as I am at these players, it's not even entirely their fault. It's this ownership. I don't know how they're looking at what they're looking at, especially after what Maresca done last season to get us top 4. That's an opportunity for you to redeem yourselves fast, because you've got the economic backing to do it with the Champions League coming in. 100%. You signed that many players, you could have made better decisions, in my opinion. But it all comes back down to that recruitment, man. It comes down to that recruitment. And apparently we've got 6 years left of this. So
You know
what
what I
are you telling me?
think?
Do I need to brace myself for the next 6 years? Or are you gonna continue to tell me we're gonna sign some of the best youth talents around, like you did when you bought the club, but yet you're only signing 1%, 2%, or 3% of them? That's turning up. It doesn't make no sense to me. I don't know where this club is going. I'll be completely honest with you. I don't know where it's going.
You know where it's going?
Where it's going.
Well,
I'll
go
tell
on,
you
Andrew.
I'll tell you where it's going. At the end of the transfer window, they're just happy to finish 4th. That's what it is. Just happy to finish 4th. I can legitimately claim here that I think with our centre-back selections, partnership, whatever you want to say, just with them alone, I think we barely get into the top 10 in the league when it comes to our centre-backs.
Oh.
I think that no matter what you think they're in form or not, just because they've shown quality before, I think there are other teams. There's no way I should be sitting here thinking that Crystal Palace and Nottingham Forest are better defenders, centre-backs than us.
It's
There's
crazy.
just no way in hell I should be sitting here going, Tosin and Chalobah for a whole season is good enough to propel us forward or anything like that. It's just not good enough, because they're not leaders. They're not leaders at the back. They just don't have that. They don't have that. They don't order people around. They get ordered. That's the thing. I just need one of them. I just need one in there to order everyone else about. You know, this is very harsh to say, but Van Dijk's a great defender, anyway, but he orders people about. You know what I mean? Order people about. Even like Gabriel, great defender, orders people about.
That's what Silva had, even with
no
his
matter
age.
What you think, no matter what you think about him, like Romero, he's not the best, but orders people about. Van de Ven orders people about. You know what I mean? At Newcastle, Dan Burn, Cher. The names you automatically disregard them because you think, oh, like that, but they order people about.
Let me say one more thing.
They just do that, and we don't have that.
Let me say one more thing. We are 2 injuries away from having a catastrophic season. God forbid Caicedo and Cole Palmer are out at the same time. God forbid.
I think it's just one. I think Caicedo's down.
If Caicedo, yeah, that's bad enough.
That's bad.
I'm throwing João Pedro in there too, to be honest.
But this is the thing: is João Pedro without Palmer and Caicedo, how is he gonna look?
No, I mean I hear that, but like that's our only quality 9 there. I think it hits the same effect. Look at Marquis. Roddy even trust him to like come on and like hold the line for like 20 minutes against United. We went for George instead. I think that says another message, because like George can play in the cup, you can't.
But here's the thing, and that's why Maresca's playing a tricky game here, because I can understand if it's his right to not pick players he doesn't trust. He's then got to win games, though.
He has to, yeah.
He has to win games to build his case. So if he doesn't, then the same thing would be, well, why didn't you try and use these players? I know you said, but why didn't you try and use these players? They're there as an option. If we had a massive injury crisis, I could understand it and stuff like that. But you have a better chance of putting your case across. We play them and we don't win, instead of not even giving it a chance. Like I said, Tariq George, squad player at best, that very, very best squad player at best. I have no idea what he does. He scored a great goal last year against Fulham. That was it, right? But putting him up front, I have no idea what you're asking him to do, because he doesn't have the tangibles, the skill set to hold up the ball or lay off or anything like that, or out wide. I don't really see him beat beat a man or something like that. Do you know what I mean? We were going to sell him to Fulham as well. He was gone. That's the whole thing.
Yep. Deadline day, I think we got a here we go and everything. It just fell through at the last minute.
Last week against Brentford, and this is where words matter, because when you're winning as a football manager, you can say whatever you want because you're winning. When you start dropping points, everyone hears your words more clearly. When you come out against Brentford and go, João Pedro told me he wasn't fit enough, or like something, he wasn't really good, you bring him off. Then you play him 90 plus minutes against Munich. Then you play him yesterday when you had Gui as an option just to rotate and something like that. It doesn't serve your case well. Do you know what I mean? It's like some people are in the job and they're dealt the hand that they have, and I do back him when it comes to this recruitment and everything like that, because they haven't supported him in either summer window. They've not given him the tools to help him succeed. He's actually succeeded against them. He's actually in spite of them. He succeeded in spite of them. But because he's met the overall on paper, he's met the goals of last season, everyone else above him thinks the whole thing's going well because they've met the targets that were set for him. And not
even that. I think they've overachieved, and like that's what they've acted on. And I think there's a very strict like time frame for them. You remember hearing Project 2030 when they first took over and everything. Part of me's thinking it's that, because I've always said, and I still stand by, I think they want to win, but it's strictly by their own way. And it's all players with resale value, and the Mike Mignon transfer saga just exposed all of that. You only had to drop 20 million. You only had to do that. And then you've sorted out another of the three that we said we all knew we needed to strengthen. And the fact that you even went in for it, it only shows that you know that we needed a better goalkeeper and you didn't want to do it because the resale value was not there. And that shows what it is. They want to win, but only with a squad that's got full resale value so they can eventually sell if they need to do it. And Mike Mignon's got a very low resale value. And then instead, they want to put all that money into going and getting two left wingers because what's his name? Joe Shields wants the City Academy grad, and Paul Winstanley's been jerking it to Garnacho all year. That's it. Guni, you were saying something. You're on mute though. What are you saying?
No, and they're not realizing that 20 million that they didn't want to spend on a goalkeeper, you might end up costing you more at the end of the season. If this guy keeps making mistakes like how he does periodically through the season, we're going to look back and say, if he never made this mistake, or if he never made that mistake, and if he never made this mistake, I'm saying as the season goes on, Jimmy, you know what I mean?
We know he is. If he started already, it is no if.
If it does cost us top four, how much money has that cost us compared to the 20 we should have spent on this goalkeeper or on another goalkeeper? How do they not think these things through? I don't get it.
This squad is just, it's no way you can put it. Like it's not put together well. Like, but the thing I say is this, like while y'all was talking, I was literally sitting here thinking like, what manager do I think could come in and do better with this squad? And I couldn't think of none. Because the best manager in the world right now is struggling like fuck with his own.
Do you know what? I think you've got to ask the higher question. It's what manager's going to cope with this model.
But we stuck with the model. So I already know that. So I'm trying to think who's the guy that could come and work under these conditions? Like
it's a bottleneck. I hear you, Jimmy.
Yeah, we're trying to get him to like do miracles. Like it's shit crazy. Like our fucking center backs is Tosin Abada Jojo and fucking Trevor Chalobah, bro. And like people like fire the manager. I'm all fire him, nigga, fire him. I guarantee you one thing, he'll have a job in the morning. But I'll tell you another thing, we won't have a better coach the next day. Because there ain't nobody coming to look and coach this fucking squad. It's a joke. It's a joke. When you really just
would be another young project manager from the Championship, someone close to the top. Yeah, probably.
It'll be Rosina at Strasbourg, 100%.
That's why
I'm so stuck on being Maresca in. He's doing the best with fucking every window that we have complained about. Yeah, we haven't had a window where we've sat back and thought, yeah, this will do.
And this window just passed could have been so close, because if they would have got the goalkeeper, not getting the center back wouldn't have been so bad. If they would have got the center back, not getting the goalkeeper wouldn't have been so bad. But bro, you didn't get neither. You just you punted on both. I will worry about it next time.
And then on top of that, you've allowed Arsenal to have Saliba, Gabriel, Hincapié, and flipping Mosquera.
Yeah. Hincapié loan plus option, by the way, it wouldn't have even hit us on the books with the UEFA squad cost ratio. But here we are.
And it would have been
everyone in the chat saying like, I give up GG, Chelsea's fucked there. I don't even think it's a that thing, because I again think like these men just want the club to grow at their own speed. They're saying, wait a year, Mike Penders will be in, Mamadou Sarr will be in, and then that's the centre-back and goalkeeper replacement that they're sorting. And look, they might be good enough for us at that moment. Sarr's been one of the best centre-backs in France for like the last year and a bit, but I'm not waiting that long. We've just won a major. Exactly. Why are you telling me after winning a World Cup that now I need to wait another year on top of that? No, you should be building on it. You've just got double the money. You got the UCL money and the Club World Cup money. You could have brought in Hincapié. You could have brought in Mignan. Centre-back, goalkeeper, done. Just like that.
Just like that, man. Just like that. That's why it's so upsetting, man. That's the part that just fucks up your whole vibe. Like, damn, man. Like, come on, bro. Like, y'all had the opportunity.
Remember when Maresca joined first season? And, like, they said that the plan was the first season, just get the team playing well. The second season, you get top 4. The next season, you challenge. And the next season, you win. I dead-ass believe that that's what their plan is. Regardless of the overachievement, I think they're just
they're not skipping the line. Yep. I agree with that. Instead of saying, you know what, we're a year ahead, let's try to. They like, no, keep it just like where it's at. Don't change nothing. Keep it right here.
That's why I don't say Chelsea's fucked, but I'm saying you're taking the fucking piss.
Yeah, all this idea that we fucked and all that, and then they'll tell you Arsenal's in the title race, but then they'll look up and realize they're 2 fucking points ahead of us.
Mm-hmm.
It's too early to be losing your goddamn mind. Some people gotta relax. That's the one thing I'll say. Relax with the fire this person, fire that person. Like, shut the fuck up. That shit is wild counterproductive. It does nothing. Relax. Like, just ain't nobody getting fired. Fire who and bring in who? Shut up. There ain't even no manager out there to even bring in right now. None. There's literally no manager that's free. I agree.
Unless it's egregious shit like Pochettino or Frank Lampard, then that's the only time you do that.
Yeah,
you know, man, I'm still making that comparison. You would have criticized Poch for a game like this. Yeah, because we're 14th. We were 10th. We're 9th.
It's a trophy either.
Yeah.
So
Maresca has always had us around top 4, at the worst a few points off. At the worst. That I'll give you patience, especially the first season,
bro. And then this is the thing that kills me. Then they'll tell you about other people and other managers, and don't even go and look what those other managers went through. They just know what the manager is now, thinking, oh, that manager will come in and go right. No, that manager gonna need a whole fucking year to switch around the squad, put in his tactics, and then you're gonna be there like, oh, he's not getting it done. Y'all better pay attention what the fuck is going on. You don't see teams taking time now. Teams are
Poch
taking
got
time.
the best window in the Clear Lake era. Facts, Maldini. He got the best summer. Caicedo, Lavia, fucking Cole Palmer, Nicholas Jackson. All of these guys.
Whoa.
I know, Jackson. The point still stands. Better than Havertz.
Jackson's first year was better than the second. His first year was all right.
But he got the best window out of everyone in the Clear Lake era, basically.
Our problem was,
and then Maresca's got jack shit since then.
Yeah, the problem with that was fucking no defense. Poch sucks. That team should have got top 4, but Poch is trash.
And he was a complete reverse in terms of player fitness. Like, if you're at 20%, that means you can play 20 minutes. That was his mindset. Like, Maresca is the complete opposite. If you ain't fit, you ain't playing. People complain about that. I don't. I'd rather have my players fit, especially this season. I've said the one manager I'd rather go through with these amount of fixtures over the space of 2 years is him. Because it will be a fitness first thing. So even with Palmer, I'm thinking, why did he start? But maybe you just know something a bit more than I do.
One thing I stand on where I agree with you is I don't think we would have Reece James right now if he was another manager.
Oh hell no, we wouldn't.
Especially if it was Poch.
Yo, and I want people to realize something.
He'd be in Syria right now.
He managed Reece James. So Reece James played 93 minutes at right back, right wing, and right wing back yesterday. 93 minutes going up and down and up and down. That's only because of one fucking thing. He's able to be managed. I think now from this day forward, when we got that midweek where Reece James don't have to start or whatever, we're gonna start to see him more on that right wing and getting up and down that wing. I expect to start seeing more of that. I really do.
Maybe that's slowly just getting himself even back to that.
Because he was letting them get up that wing and them crosses he was putting in yesterday.
Man. No, this is what I'm saying. Like
the ones at Chalobah, that shit was. You see everybody from United
standing up Dorgu and burning him for pace.
Nobody can tell me Reece James is not an elite player. I hate
those crosses. Yo, if y'all watch my fucking stream, I screamed that second cross. I just knew it was going in. The pace it went into the box. I said, if anybody touch it, that's going to the back of the net. It's going to the back of the net. Oh man, Reece James. Reece James.
He's an elite player. 100%. There's no two ways about it. He's elite. For me, he's just elite, bro.
Fucking elite, man.
Facts.
Straight up.
Fucking facts, man.
Yeah.
I was gonna ask about the title hopes and everything. Like, still 2 points in front of Manchester City, still 2 points behind Arsenal. But I feel like we've spoken about that already. It's not over yet. But I think like if we lose to Liverpool, then we might be asking a bit too much.
Yeah, we 7 behind Liverpool already.
Yeah,
we have to win that game. Have to.
There's no title hopes with this.
Not with that keeper.
No, but for me, I just want to be there until we're not in it.
No, there's no. Trust me, and we're going to see it ramp up.
Because for me, like the minimum I want to see is just an improvement on points, and to do that, you just got to be in there for a bit longer.
They'll be fine with fourth. That's what they'll be fourth. They'll be fine with fourth. I know we won't, but that's what they're geared up for.
If you give me fourth with a trophy, I'll sleep good. But don't just give me fourth. Don't just give me fourth. I need a trophy.
I want to bring to a bunch of centre backs, and they'll just bring Anselmino or Sarr back as cover.
That's exactly what they're going to do, Andrew.
Yeah. And then the goalkeeper, they'll sign Magnon, but it won't be till next summer or some shit like that if they do sign him.
Well, yeah, they'll sign a pre-agreement.
Yeah, sign a pre-agreement
in January
for next year. Yeah. It's all fucking next year. It's all next year. They'll sell. That's why I don't really go overboard on the selling of this club, because they bought all those shit players to begin with. Do you know what I mean? They're just good at selling them. You know what I mean? I think
incomings. Flip what you want, but just give me a squad that can contend on all four fronts.
Like, I don't praise them. I'll praise them for getting the money for them, but all of them sales we've had the last 2 years, everyone that they bought.
Listen, I think we all could agree the worst signings this club made. I'm going to say this with no apology. Raheem Sterling is not it. It's actually DCC and Badia Shield. Those are the two worst signings we made. They cost about 35, 40 M's a piece, and we can't get rid of them. We're stuck with them.
They're not on like 300K plus a week, so their wages aren't even that much of it.
Yes. It's not even like they on big food, bro. People like, nah.
No, but Disasi fucked that move for himself. He was like, "Oh, I'm waiting for Monaco. I want Monaco."
That's what I'm saying. Like, it's just so disheartening, bro. Like, but I'm not one of these dudes that's like, "Oh, I give up on the team." Like, we have 5 games in, bro. 5 games.
I'm not going.
People need to put their pull your skirts down. Like my brother would say, pull your skirt down, man. Your labia is showing. Relax.
That's why I have to remind myself, Jimmy, January 1st.
Yeah, Guni, I made a post. I said, yo, I'm watching my NFL and keeping my powder dry till January 1st. I'm not losing my cool. But January 1st, the smoke will be blowing, bro. I'm going to let it go. I'm going to let it. I ain't got time to be arguing with sports directors.
No worries, Andrew. Big up, man. Great to have you on. Big up.
All right, Drew. I need these players to start locked in. I'm okay benching Enzo, bro. Bench Enzo, bro. What the fuck? Bench him. Bench Enzo.
100%.
Let him come off the bench, have a fucking couple good appearances, and get his confidence back. But you gotta bench Enzo. Santos was our best player yesterday, outfield player. He was our best. And look, he was amazing. Like, that's the one bright light from that game. When I'm watching it back, I'm like, damn, this dude was working hard.
Santos, Caicedo, I think João Pedro, Reece James, they can leave with their heads up.
Oh, yeah.
Santos, he was the best player for Chelsea yesterday. He was balling. He was
Let me add something about Reece as well, yeah? Is, you see, him having the armband, there's certain things that he don't have. He's not as vocal as you'd want him to be sometimes, but that's not his character.
Yeah, it's not his character.
There's one thing about him that he's going to give you, is he's going to give 100. Did you see how knackered he was yesterday and he still powered through it? That man was struggling, bro. In terms of like,
and he just kept fighting. On my live, they tried to crash it on him on the last cross when he went to kick it and just fell. Oh, look.
Yeah, bro.
He's not, I said, yo, when you see a professional athlete drop like that, that means there's not. He gave it all.
He's giving 110%
and fucking do this. That's letting you know he gave. It's all he left every fucking thing out there. And for the effort Reece James put in, he deserved the draw. We didn't deserve it as a team, but he fucking deserved the draw. He deserved the draw because he was trying to get that final goal. He was trying. His crosses he was putting in, danger. Somebody just had to get on the end of one, man.
That's why the 10-man fucking kill does. It's a shame, but like that's literally just the game. The first 20 minutes just set up the remaining fucking 60 plus 70. But we move.
That's the bottom line of it. Look, the emphasis of this thing for me is we are in this situation in terms of the result we got yesterday because of Robert Sanchez. And you know what really upsets me the most about this is these last 2 seasons have been our greatest opportunity to get a win at Old Trafford. Our best opportunity. Last year, we bottled it. This year, yesterday, I was so convinced, Lewis, Jimmy, I was so convinced we was going to leave home. We were going to leave there with 3 points for the first time in a long time. Because United are basically relegation fodder. And yet we couldn't. So this is where a lot of this emotion comes from.
5 minutes that went out the window.
Yeah, man.
3 minutes and 42 seconds.
There you go.
3 minutes and 42 seconds, bro.
Yeesh. Fuck me, man. Yo, big up Pachara saying, do you see Cena get slaughtered? Yeah, like WWE took my mind off last night. I didn't do pro clubs. I didn't watch no football. I didn't even watch the Prem highlights. I just fucked all of that off ASAP. Big up Iron saying, big up Lewis, day after the shit show. I'm still blaming that bold prick for yesterday. Still not blaming Maresca. Okay, the other one. Also, we never got back. What do you expect? I agree. We all know Maresca's been fucked over by these windows. Man could even like make the case that he still don't trust some of these signings based off the substitutions and whatever. I ain't gonna cry that Garnacho didn't come on or Gittins. I genuinely don't care.
My chat was killing me talking about, he didn't bring on Garnacho. I was like, yo, I'm done. I was like, I can't with y'all. I'm not. I ain't arguing.
I was so desperate to see him score at OT. Like, bro, just score.
I'm like, yo, it's not a movie. Yeah, like, I don't give a fuck. Somebody score. I don't know about Garnacho. Yeah. Like, yo, what y'all talking about?
I trust George more because he's been in his system more, whatever. Who gives a damn what left?
Damn, put any one of them in there and just score. I don't give a fuck who it is. I'm not going to.
He always plays the same centre back because he wanted a centre back. No Bueno Notte because he wanted Simmons. He wants the keeper. And now you know why Hugh's not playing. Basically. Yeah. He can't even play in the midweek and we thought, fuck it, we'll bring him on. He's Chelsea corner. Big up, man. We mustn't forget it's been raining. Word to tie. Big up, my guy. TM says it starts and ends with these sporting directors ignoring blatant holes in the squad, unable to close deals with big players. Always goes back to the Man City under-21 squad and unable to leave that Brighton.
They live there.
I mean, the Brighton moves past Sanchez ain't even been too bad. But it's like, look, can you just do something out of the box, not be predictable? You know?
So Tuesday, we're going to get some Bueno Notte at the 10 for sure because Palmer's not playing.
Yeah, fucking great for that. How sure are we that he's here end the scene? Maresca's not going. I'm locked into a 5-year, he ain't going. I've got zero worries about that. And I don't think they're going to get rid of him either unless he goes like on some mad Poch level tangents of cussing out.
That's the only way. I think is if he goes rogue on the board, then they're going to get rid of him. or if, like I said, if it gets egregious like Pochettino and Frank Lampard and them things there, which I doubt it will, that's the only way he's gonna go. It's basically he's gonna take extremes for him to leave.
And man said, what if we missed top 4? Look, Poch missed top 4. Top 4-1 was a target, and then they said top 6. They'll put some dumb briefing out there, and half the fan base will just milk it anyway, or we'll just ignore it and go after them anyway, because they're the fucking problem over all of this. NNG Blue says we spent more than 350 million on centre-back since the summer, and everything looks terrible because one academy centre-back got injured. What the fuck? This is my thing as well. We are putting so much pressure on Levi Colwill when he returns. It's fucking insane. Straight off an ACL, we're gonna expect him to come back and carry this back line, and it's just not realistic. Not only was that, it was, I'm not going to say it's form. I think he genuinely turned the corner. But you just hit an ACL. You're going to go back and then come forward. And we're going to need to back him through that. But now the expectation is going to be that he comes in and carries us back up.
This feels like, remember when everyone was saying, oh, when Nkunku comes back, things are going to get better. He's going to carry us.
Yes.
Not obviously. Yes. I'm not saying that there's parallels with
yeah. But I remember that. I remember that narrative.
But, you know, yeah. We got
parallels with the mindset in it. You know them ones.
Got to manage expectations. And what they're saying, he might be out for an entire season. Colwill.
I hope he is. I hope they rest him for the whole season. Yeah, I want him to.
Yeah, I don't want to see him.
I don't want to see him, and then that way he don't have to play no World Cup. None of that shit. Come back next year. Completely fresh.
We have to do something. This January, we're literally forced. We have to do something. And then chances are of getting that criteria, that level of centre-back during that time, it's going to be a struggle, man.
Very big struggle. But we'll see.
Yeah, we'll see, man. Yo, Guni, Jimmy, big up for jumping on, though. I appreciate you guys. Gooni's link is in the description. The link to Jimmy Spliff TV is literally in the title as well. I just left the pub to come back and do this because I had to go and fucking vent. And like one of my mates is back from Stroud, so I'll go see him again after this. So we're going to wrap this up. But Jimmy, Guni, God bless you for jumping on the Sunday night. I appreciate you guys. We're going to send you over to Sam, so everybody spam fucking World Champions raid. And pray for me tomorrow, though. The walk of shame we are about to run on is going to be fucking mental. This Monson Troops Gegenpress, fucking Hussam, Never a Foul, all of that shit, the rant stream. Yeesh. Everyone head over there, though. Big up, my guy.